What's up, my people? SMH, what up? And happy birthday. Thank you. Thank you. How how do I sound? There we go. We got a smiley. Oh, that was just me being a joker. I mean, I'm recovering. We don't have to get into details. How are you today? The show's about to start in just like a minute or two. I'm just dropping some links, getting situated. I hope you're having a beautiful Saturday. It's gonna be an amazing day. We're gonna keep it real. Hello, Matt Cat. Welcome to the stream. Oh yeah, we about to get into it. Let's start this bad boy off right. Oh, thank you, Rogue Radio. It's my sister from another mister, Rogue Radio in the house. We got Mac that we got SMA and hopefully many more because it's going to be quite the stream. Yes, it is my birthday. That's why I'm going live so early. I figure I'd get it, I'd get some of that out before I get it out, if you know what I mean.
Mayday! Come in! If anyone can hear me, my starship has been pulled into the anomaly. I find myself in a strange new world. It is a world with no sun, no stars. It is a world of comics. Here we go! Gaming. Movie. This world is the Rogue Planets. With your host, the Fat Mantis HD.
Hello and welcome to Rogue Planet Super Sloppy Crazy Birthday Edition. I am, of course, the Fat Mantis. We're doing a very early Saturday time to stream. And actually, I think people are showing up to the stream, which means maybe I should do this time slot more often. I don't know. It's up to you guys. But I hope you're having an amazing Saturday morning. I'm kicking it off. I'm going to be a little silly today. We're going to be less business, more things that'll get you arrested. But I will tell you right now, we will be talking about whatever you guys want to talk about. A lot of crazy things going on in the entertainment world. Particularly the railroading of one Jonathan Majors, which you know is a topic I talk about literally all the time. We're going to be getting into some other stuff. But what I want from you guys is to like this video, subscribe to this channel, keep tuning into Voice of the Fat Mantis. Bellboy in the hizzle. Hello, Bellboy. It's been so long. Haven't seen you. Matt's giving me a very loving, very awesome, happy birthday. Thank you. That means a lot. Of course, as I said before, Rogue Radio, the sister from another Wisdom. So, guys, question: what are we all up to on this fine Saturday morning? This is my first, and yes, I'm drinking from medieval times. Here we go. That'd be hitting the spot right there. He said driving to work, my dude. I love drive time radio. That's what honestly, that's what I would love to do, doing like a morning show and just being the voice in people's head while they get road rage and they're flipping out. That is actually my absolute dream job. Who knows? Maybe it will happen someday. I'm at work at the moment, feeling better too. I love to hear that, Rogue. Yeah, Bellboy says it's been a while. It really has been. I hear you've been doing a project with LaMikey, which I'm kind of jealous of. You guys are living it up on your streams. I try to catch them whenever possible, but you guys are doing great stuff, so keep that up. Matt says, I'm just laying on the couch with my kids watching Saturday morning cartoons. Is that still a thing? Wait. Is Saturday morning cartoons still a thing? And why do I not watch them? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I should be watching these things. Last night we had a very interesting episode of Men Supporting Men, where first we started talking about leadership, and we had a very, very impactful conversation about the nature of leadership. How does a man become a leader? How does a man growing up or in the nurturing system fail to learn how to be a leader? Sorry, guys. But then the last hour, because of some questions in the chat, we started talking about body count and if body count matters. Now, if you guys know, I don't want to get all gross because we're on Facebook after all. I figure you know what body count means. Does a person's body count matter in the mating game? And we had like a riveting conversation about this. It was like we did a stream together, but that was like 2 months ago. Oh, okay. I thought you guys were doing it on the regs, man. Saturday morning cartoons is a thing in my house. I love that. When I was a kid, Saturday morning cartoons was the only thing that would like. I would work. You know, people say they're working for the weekend. No, I was working for Saturday morning cartoons. I'm glad there's still like a tradition. I'm glad they just didn't like vanish. I think we all think that as we get older, right? As we get older, we always think that like, oh, that was during my time. You know what I mean? Like I'm like maybe Saturday morning cartoons were canceled once I outgrew them. Is that possible? Or am I just a narcissist? We all know that all streamers are narcissists, so let's go with that one. Let's see what's on the Twitter today. Stephen Yoon is trending. I don't know if you guys saw Beef. I absolutely watched Beef. I gotta say, I really loved Beef. I think it could have been better. There were definitely slow parts. I think like, but oh man, It was weird. It was like I felt like it was boring. I couldn't turn it off. I just keep watching and watching and watching. Miss Oh my god, Hippie, Miss Hippie. Welcome to the stream. How are you? I don't know what I thought. I thought you moved to Canada or something. I haven't seen you in so long. What are you doing for your birthday? You get anything good? So I got into a horrible fight with my family last night before I went on Men Supporting Men. I just got to say, like, I have had it up to here with my mother. That's so funny. I'm getting real personal right now. But as people get older, they become more creatures of just instinct and they just reflexively do things. And she's just such a mean, inconsiderate person. It practically ruined my birthday. And I was so upset. I was like profoundly upset last night because she was so disrespectful about some sort of birthday tradition that we do that I was like, what is the point anymore? And like, I mean, I could go into other stuff, but that's a complaint for another time. However, today's going to be amazing. I love streaming. That's why I'm starting with this stream. Then after this, I'm gonna go to the city. I'm gonna hang out with my sister and her son. We are going to my favorite restaurant, Red Lobster. And then after that, we are gonna go see Evil Dead Rise, which I haven't even watched reviews because I don't want anything spoiled. It looks so freaking amazing. I do not have words for how amazing this movie looks. Happy birthday, Mantis, says Mississippi. I miss you so much. But how about you? Life has been chaotic. Tell me about it. I'm not watch that beef show. It didn't look like my cup of tea. Plus, Ali Wong is annoying and not funny. So I'll tell you, it's not for everyone. This show is absolutely not for everyone. So I would say that, like, I think A24, the production company who makes it, they normally make movies, and they are like the last. How do I put this? They are the last are entertaining art house makers on the block. Obviously, art house movies will come out that you really like, but they consistently make good art. Like, they keep cinema artistic. They keep it weird the way cinema should be, but it's also entertaining. You don't have to. It's not like some pretentious ride. They make like so many good movies. I think they made all the good movies this last year. Everything that was nominated, right? Almost everything that was nominated. And so I just love them. And they made this. However, being like super artistic doesn't always translate to a television show, if that means anything, if that makes any sense. Oh yes, I did. I did. The So actually, you know what's funny? I got myself a StreamYard upgrade and I got myself also an upgrade to Rumble. I'm streaming on Rumble right now for the first time. And those were my birthday presents to myself. And I know they're like, that seems lame. No, I love that. That's an amazing present right there. That's a good time, my friends. He got busy, all that good stuff. We're here for you, young man. We love you. I love you too. I love each and every one of you. Whether you show up to my streams or not, but you better show up to my streams or else. But love is in the air. You guys are amazing. Amazing community we have up in this situation, and I hope we're all going to make amazing content for this year. Technically, my birthday marks the start of the year, in my opinion. It's like New Year's. Everyone should celebrate. It's also Earth Day for you hippies out there. What's your favorite thing to get at Red Lobster? So I like a little of everything. Obviously, I think the real answer in everyone's heart in a Red Lobster meal is the biscuits, right? So really, I go for the biscuits, but I stay for the Admiral dinner. It's like a $60 plate of just like a little of everything and now lobster, of course. Red Lobster. I had that for my birthday in January. Their salmon and shrimp are bomb. Yeah, I mean that stuff is good too. But I'm here for shrimp and I'm here for lobsters. Lobster, the roaches of the sea. They are so tasty. We don't even care that they're the roaches of the sea. Like, we kind of ignore the fact that they're clearly related to cockroaches, and we just eat them anyway. Oh, I'm not a huge fan of Rumble. The interface is the worst. I gotta get I absolutely agree with you. Here's the thing. I love no, or should I say I do not love the interface of Rumble. Here I am streaming on it, and I'm dissing the platform, and I'm sorry for that. But here's why we gotta support Rumble, and I'm hoping that with each upgrade, like every time YouTube kicks somebody off and they go there, it's generating revenue for Rumble. And hopefully, they'll upgrade and they'll upgrade. Because trust me, Rumble is way better now than it was a year ago. That they make the interface and the thing more user friendly. But the reason we have to support it is actually something that's been brewing this week. I don't know if you guys heard, but YouTube has officially taken a new stance on pronouns. This is a policy that used to exist in old Twitter, and I'm talking about fascist Twitter. You know, when you weren't allowed to say literally anything, unless you were talking about grooming with kids, in which case they let it slide, right? Because we all know who runs or used to run Twitter. But their new policy is that if you misgender someone in a video, you can be demonetized and banned for 7 days. And so obviously this is brought on from the recent Dylan Mulvaney stuff. And so a lot of conservative YouTube creators, content creators, have decided they're not going to use Dylan Mulvaney's female pronouns for reasons. And I don't think they're necessarily valid reasons. Now, of course, if anyone is listening out here and their first instinct might be they're ists and they're phobes. I'm here to tell you that is not true. Now, it depends on your definition of an ist or a phobe, but I believe that anyway. I'm huge into freedom of speech, and I am totally not digging what YouTube's doing. I have no love for this situation, and so I cannot root for YouTube. And I know why we're rooting for YouTube. Us content creators, we're all a bunch of whores. You know what I'm saying? We'll do anything for the bucks. We are chasing this YouTube dream to get the money because that's where the money's at. But they have horrible rules. They're just so oppressive. And quite frankly, I'm sick of platforms that are oppressive to its people. They literally have their boot on people's throats on YouTube. They will cancel you, block you, delete your videos for almost nothing. The rules get either increasingly bulky or they're so confusing, you won't even know when you broke the rules. That is no way to live, and that's no way to have a platform. And censoring other people's, counter conversation is not correct on a platform where ideas are the important thing. Ideas are the things that we're peddling on social media. To say that you're blocking somebody's idea, yeah, that's a page out of Hitler's book. And I'm not going to stand for it. Now, why can I have such a self-righteous attitude? I make money on various applications. I do not make it on YouTube. Not their paywall, but I'm sorry, the threshold to be a paid streamer is really high, and I haven't made it yet. So I could still theoretically move my platform to somewhere else. And so I have this self-righteousness, but I understand why big content creators, they hate this. They speak out about it, but they can't do anything. Like the Quartering was saying the other day, he's like, I can't just leave YouTube. I have 6 employees. Yeah, I mean, how are you going to say no to that money? Hello, OB7I. How are you? Yes, walking on eggshells once you've made any traction is horrendous. It's like a hate crime. It's so offensive to me. People are like, why don't we all get along? Why can't we all get along? The first way you want to get along with somebody, or this is my advice for the people who are blocking everybody, let people speak. You want to talk about safe spaces? The left created this concept of the safe space. Let conservatives have a safe space. Let them be able to say what they want. Listing literally everything as hate speech. Everyone's a white supremacist. There are white people out there, this is real, who have the audacity to call black people that they don't like what they're saying white supremacists. There are people who call Young Ripa, the blackest guy we all know, a white supremacist because he's a conservative. That is insane. But to kind of shut down any other conversation is the first formula to not getting along. And another thing, the pigs. Oh, Anthony, what up? How you living, dog? Well, it has been a while, my friend. Um, yeah, it's so crazy. They can put ads on your vids even though you're not monetized. So then they make money off. Yes, absolutely. And so it's so hard on YouTube. Like, for instance, you could only have like 200 subscribers, right? Make a video that goes viral, 10,000 views. I've actually done it. I've actually had close to 10,000 views. Videos and ads are on it. You make nothing because you didn't reach your subscriber threshold. It's horrendous, but that's what I'm saying. I am in a kind of a good place where I can move where I want because YouTube actually isn't paying me out. So, but I do dream of a world where we can all just say as we please in a place like Rumble. Young Ripa is awesome. He went on a screaming tirade yesterday, and I loved every minute of it. He was very insulting to the woman who was criticizing him. However, he was on the nose, man. It was so much fun. We just chilling. Glad to see you still vibing out. Always, always. I'll be streaming till the end of days, man. The apocalypse will come. It'll be raining fire, and I'm going to be streaming it. Alyssa Luna, how are you? It has been a while since I've seen you in stream. I still see you on Insta. Hope you're having a good one. Good morning. Yes, content creation gets cutthroat when you make it sometimes. It's the hustle, man. Unfortunately, this is the hustle. Everyone dreams of it. Actually, I heard like in surveys of like children, like what do you want to be when you grow up? American kids don't want to be doctors and policemen anymore. They all want to be content creators. So we're all chasing this dream. I just think the dream would be better if there's less censorship. Don't get me wrong. I obviously agree. I obviously think certain things should not be available on YouTube, but only the most extreme things. Elisa Luna says Twitch is acting twitchy. Okay, well, thank you for choosing to come to continue the stream over in YouTube. So I haven't put it in the in the description, but this is my birthday stream. I am a year older. How old that is, I will not reveal. It's old enough to be ashamed of my age. Let me put it. So yeah, Orby, I have tried Kick. Here's the thing: I stream on Streamyard, and every time I put the stream code into my StreamYard and I start my stream, I get a notification that they're saying an error has occurred, and I'm not actually live on Kick. It's only Kick that does this. Rumble lets me do it. Elise Luna says a young 32. That's why we love Elise Luna. Mantis, my dear, take something for that cough. So here's what it is. I actually was out of the game for a little over a week. Like I wasn't even making content at the time because I had such a cough and such like I had caught some virus that I was just KO'd. Like you would have thought I was gonna die. I did go to the doctor, and they were like, "No, you just have a respiratory infection. It's not even that serious." And so my cough has like persisted. It's the worst, man. It's the worst. So you're getting laid for your birthday? So obviously that is a very adult A very valid question. So I don't have any plans with any young ladies, but that's not to say it won't change eventually. So you know, think about it that way. Who knows? I do know that after the movie, I plan on getting so drunk and wild. Who knows where I'll end up? Like I plan on waking up in Staten Island in a gutter somewhere, being like, "How did I get here?" Everyone is battling strep throat up here in Toledo. Oh man, I got laid last night twice. Twas nice. So, yeah, that's awesome. Does anyone else wish to declare they're getting laid? This is that type of stream, guys. Let's go for it. What are you going to be drinking tonight? Well, I don't know about tonight, but right now, a little bit of that shard. I know what you're thinking. What? It's 11 a.m., man. Just what are you doing? It's my birthday. So I plan on being like nicely lubricated throughout the entire day. So, Evil Dead. I'm watching Evil Dead Rise tonight. Who has heard of it? Who has heard good things? I would love to know this. I see none of my other supporters here have gotten laid. Only Elise Luna did. So everyone should look up to her. I kind of scared the dude towards the end. He... If you're at a bar at some point, I dare you to ask the bartender for a duck fart. I'm gonna have to Google that because like I'm not ever ordering something that I don't know what it is. That's bizarre. But I am curious. I'm hella curious. Matt says I better get laid tonight. I work all week for this to pay for this damn house. I love this. This is the attitude to have. Um, yeah, right. You work your ass off. It's Earth Day, by the way, so hippies are all getting laid out in the field somewhere. I assume there's some sort of smoking event. Or actually, no, that was 2 days ago, right? 2 days ago was 420. It's kind of weird that 420 is also Hitler's birthday. It's like the system has tricked people inadvertently into celebrating and partying on Hitler's birthday. Kind of satanic if you think about it. Surprises are the spice of life, says Elise. Elise says, no, just order it. Okay. Okay, I'm doing it. Happy Earth Day. Yay, 420. Miss Hippie, I assume you had a good time on 420. You were partying, living the dream. Wait, no, wait, what? No, no, no. This is a joke. This has to be a joke. It, it, wait, hold on. Oh no, this is a joke. This must be a joke. That is a fake. That is a fake. I'm sorry, guys. I was looking on Twitter to see if there's anything interesting to discuss, and suddenly I see something that they say Michael Cera was cast as Superman in Superman Legacy. There's no way. There's no way. Please, it has to be a joke. That says I don't partake in 420. Yeah, so I'm not a big smoker myself. I'm not. I'm never. No, not never. When I was in college, I was like really into it. But it was like a phase, and I kind of got. And as we all know, Chardonnay is my crack cocaine. So as long as we're talking Superman, let's talk James Gunn, right? So James Gunn's this will could be a little upsetting for super fanboys of Marvel, but apparently Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is actually tracking terribly. It's not set to do nearly as good as its predecessors, and I'm wondering, is the Marvel bubble burst? Is it over? The new unemployment is going to be Marvel people. We're going to see a hobo and he's like, used to work for the MCU. We'll do CGI for food or something like that. Because the amount of people they employ is like crazy. At least Elena says put Seth Rogen in there too. Yeah, I mean, while they're at it, that would be funny if someone who like took over DC was like just made a total spoof of a movie that people take seriously, like Superman or Batman. Like they cast Jimmy Fallon as Bruce Wayne or something, and their sole purpose was just to make a comedic movie that will just tick everybody off. Did you see all the weirdos getting upset about Lilo and Stitch casting? So this is why we live in hell, guys. This is why we live in hell. Um, so I have seen this. People are so colorism, or should I say reverse colorism, has gotten so bad. So what we're talking about, weirdos or people flipping out, they're flipping out that the girl they cast as to star in Lilo and Stitch isn't as dark skinned as the Hawaiian girl from Lilo and Stitch from the animated version, and so they're pissed off about skin tone, even though the first argument that these types of people made like years ago was that you need to cast the same type of person as the same thing. So they were like, it's not just that you be a black person playing an African. If you're playing an African who's from Nigeria, but your family's from the Congo, you can't have that job. And they're getting that nitpicky that they're like literally to the point where they're like they cast someone who's Korean and they're like, yeah, but they're not from the same Korean neighborhood as the fictional character. Moving on to today, it's gotten to the point where they're literally complaining about the skin tone. And so here's what I'm saying. I understand if you're like your fictional character is like super dark skin, like super dark skin black, and they do like an incredibly whitewashed, super light skin person as them. I could see why complaints would happen on maybe that front, but it's just gotten out of hand where they're literally holding pictures up to the thing and they're like, oh, fictional characters a shade darker. We need to cancel these people. He says, I'm going to see Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I love those movies. I really like Gunn's writing. I'm not going to lie. I have such a love hate relationship with James Gunn because I think as an artist, or should I say, let's not say artist, filmmaker, I love his films. Suicide Squad 2 is like one of my favorite superhero movies. The Guardians movies, I love them. I think normally he just does a good job. He keeps it real. I love Peacemaker. Oh, Peacemaker is a great show. And I love him and I want to support him about that. But his opening decisions in the DC universe, I just cannot get down with. And I unfortunately have to boycott. Not boycott. There's a boycott of one. I'm making the personal choice not to support or really cover Superman Legacy. And once again, as we say it all the time, you vote with your dollars. And so don't give money to people who hate you or are just doing something that sucks. Their argument in like the superhero world of film and television making is that they're obsessed with superhero films. They'll show up. They have to show up. What are they going to do? Not pay for my movie? Thank God people are rejecting this idea. That's why like Phase 4 of Marvel has been mostly horrible box office results. People are finally standing up and saying, I don't have to pay for this. This isn't crack cocaine. I'm not an addict. Thor on the corner begging for hammers. I love that. that Machado guy got fired because he had a Spotify playlist with the N word as a name. Like, you mean he was like N music? Can you see? I'm sorry, I'm ignorant. Can you see other people's Spotify playlists? Like that was public. He made that public. Why would anyone do that? Oh, Laney's here. Happy birthday, Mantis. Thank you, Laney. Welcome in, DT Dubs in the house. I sent you a happy birthday message in oh yeah, direct messages. Thank you, brother. Means a lot to see you all. Yo, Dubs, I think you left our stream last night. It got good. We started talking about body counts. In Men Supporting Men, we were talking about does body count matter? And interestingly enough, we had 3 very different ideas on the matter. And the stream went on for like another hour. It was like cool. No Disney actor is getting away with dropping N bombs. I would argue almost no actor working for any studio is. You know. He says, "Hey, bald man." Oh, Shaolin, what up, brother? Shaolin Iceboxer in the house. He says, "Happy birthday, brother! Thank you so much." That says, "Do you think Guardians of the Galaxy 3 looks good?" I'm gonna tell you. So here's the thing. I think, in general statement, yes, I think it looks great. I think it looks absolutely amazing. I have faith that James Gunn will bring the trilogy home. Now, unfortunately, the fan in me doesn't like all the changes they've done to characters. And I see it looks like they're changing things more. But like James Gunn brought in like a character, who's played by his brother, who isn't a character in the comic books, to join the Guardians. And they make Nebula. Nebula's joined the Guardians, and she's gonna have cybernetic angel wings. And I'm like, I don't know what he's just telling his own story at this point. I hate it when they do that. It really, 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 really like burns my goat or grinds my mustache or whatever the saying is. It really pisses me off to no end. So I'm kind of pissed at the franchise for that. I will see it because I just think that he puts on an entertaining movie. Like for instance, Suicide Squad 2, I didn't know any of those characters. I didn't know any of them. Maybe that's why I liked it. You know, I didn't get to see that. The hash job he did on it, but yeah, the Phase 5 movies so far look terrible, but Guardians looks good to me. So here's the thing. Marvel needs to stay in the game. They need Guardians of the Galaxy and the Marvels to do amazing. They both need $1 billion to say firmly that Marvel is back at it. I think it's possible Guardians of the Galaxy could make $1 billion. I wouldn't be surprised if it made $1 billion, as its predecessors did. I think people just love that franchise and are into it. If it doesn't, that would upset me. And its tracking right now doesn't look good. The tracking numbers. Maybe after people see it, word of mouth will, the fans will come back. But I think it does have a chance of making it. I'm sorry, but the Marvels, no way, no way. So I understand a lot of you are like, "Oh, it looks like a fun adventure. It looks like a good time." I get it. A fun, good time is not what Marvel needs. They need a home run. Yeah, you can see the other playlists that people create as long as it's public. So the fact that he made that public is just so freaking idiotic. Yeah, Dubs. Like we were talking about the importance of body count and if it matters, and it was like interesting. Like it's interesting hearing my homie's thoughts on the matter. He got pretty scandalous in there. Yeah, he called the playlist N-word noise. I assume it was an accident that he made it public. That's even worse, phrasing it as noise. That's almost even more insulting, in my opinion. But the combination is definitely not looking good. That's horrible. That's absolutely horrible. I want to hear, bro. I got a phone call last night. Oh yeah, no, I dig it. So that's gonna be up on Anchor. We're gonna put that on Anchor in the coming days. So I'll let you know when that's up. That episode is up for more public consumption. Loves Suicide Squad 2 was freaking amazing. I really think it was, and that's the thing. Like, I really hope he's able to make more of them. But once again, it's gonna people are gonna get butthurt if he doesn't fire everyone from DC because it's still I don't even understand why he would fire Henry Cavill. You've got to be a freaking idiot. Reports on the set are like Henry Cavill's like he's a real princess, a prima donna. He demands things and he acts like he runs the place. Like, how many actors do that? So he's a little hard to work with. Here's what it is: people don't understand what like a producer do, and so I'll get into it right now. I would argue that The Mandalorian is the worst produced show on television now, or at least big show. And I know you're like, oh, what? Mantis, whatever are you talking about? Okay, I feel you. Mandalorian has amazing special effects. When it has fight sequences, they're really good. It expands the lore of one of the greatest franchises in science fiction history. It's family fun that everyone can watch. You can sit down with your family and watch it, literally bringing the family together. The costumes are good, everything's good. I'm checking all these boxes. So how is this the worst production in the world? I'll tell you why. Because the production team cannot handle their actors. I know this sounds bizarre, but if you got Gina Carano in arguments with you to the point where you fire her over her tweets, and then you have to drastically alter the story, then you've got some sort of issue with Pedro, whatever that is. You can't even get him into the studio, so he's only doing voice work from remote. Rumors flying that you can't control, and you have made a mockery of your own production. And so part of being a producer is controlling your actors and being able to control your actors. It's basically being a producer is part of the job is being a babysitter to spoiled, entitled artists who think they're above the shit. Pardon my French. That going back to Henry Cavill. If James Gunn cannot handle Henry Cavill because he's kind of a bad boy, well, then he sucks as a producer. Because the idea of making a movie is you don't only make movies with easy to work with people. That's idiotic. If we're talking about the real stars in the world, stars are difficult. If you really listen to the reports of things people do, Jennifer Lawrence is extremely difficult. Tom Hanks used to be difficult in his younger years. When he was blowing up, apparently he was difficult. There's a lot of issues with actors and even musicians who do the scores or anything, but you have to find a way to work with them. You have to make a compromise. If you're unable to do with it, I would argue you suck as a producer. He says that's pretty broad. Cavill can mansplain anything any day. Yes, absolutely. He's a freaking amazing guy. And Nigel Trotter in the house. What up, brother? Merry anniversary of your birth, Mantis. Thank you so much, Nigel. Nigel, always good to see you. Gina Carano is a queen. Thank you. I think she is a queen as well. And I honestly think they should have found a way to find a way to work with her. It says have a conversation, like hang out with the person. Be like, I'd like it if you didn't tweet things about the Holocaust, but be nice about it. But you do have to juggle these things. I saw a rumor that the new Superman is currently in a play in London. I think everyone is assuming it's Paul Mescal doing Streetcar Named Desire. I don't know who Paul Mescal is. Do we know him? We're talking about Carano Injustice. Basically, it's it baffles me that the way they handle it is firing the actor. Because so many times they've had to deal with crazy actors. Yeah, and here's what I'm saying. What's funny is the Mandalorian cast, it's not like they're doing drugs and crashing cars and hurting people, which the cast of Lost did. Or other things like that. They're not like rock star problematic. They're just kind of problematic. But I guess Kathleen Kennedy is such a softie. She can't deal with Pedro Pascal being pissy about how sweaty his costume is. And she's like, "Oh, I just can't deal with him bitching." Come on, man. At the end of the day, you gotta look for the bag. You wanna get that bag, right? We all want that bag. Thank you, Elise, and well put. Oh, hey, did you see that Jeff Snyder confirmed the Pedro Pascal story? That's 3 scoopers now. I would like to hear details on the story before I give Grace Randolph her win. You know I gotta triple check Grace's stories now, 'cause she's filled with, so many false ones. It's why I stopped watching Charlize Theron. She went all diva on Tom Hardy as if he wasn't a professional too. Oh, right, 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 yeah. So, and not to insult anyone who's an actor, I've done a little acting. I respect and love actors and things, but the truth, just as I say streamers are narcissists, actors are too. Actors and musicians, anytime you got something where the it's all about you, like very few jobs, if you think about it, are all about you. If you're a salesperson, it's about your company or the product. If you're working retail, if you're working in a restaurant, it's none of it's about you. Imagine a job where the product is you. Imagine what that would do to your ego. Imagine how crazy. Think about your ego personally and how out of hand you could get if you were the product that everyone wanted, right? So my argument there is like, I understand that like it's you probably have a high threshold of actors who have made it, A-listers who are just a-holes, who they're princes and princes and princesses who want everything handed to them. If Henry, because I hear like Henry Cavill, he's such a gamer that he'll game in his trailer, and that if he's doing well in a game, he will not come to set when they call him. He'll be like, "I need to finish this." And that pisses directors off. But that's like not that bad, I think. Like the dog fart is made of Irish cream, Kahlua, and whiskey. Just in case you needed to know. I know I'm picky with what I drink too. Oh, huh. Freaking movie stars. Paul Mescal was nominated for an Oscar for Aftersun. Yeah, the Aftersun, the movie nobody watched. That's so funny that like the one movie that like no one really talked about, no one took seriously as no one thought any nomination coming out of Aftersun was real. Speaking of Superman, what do you think about the Logan Lerman casting rumor? If it's true, I think he's a horrible actor and a terrible choice. So once again, love you, Matt. That Logan Lerman rumor came from Grace Randolph, and Gunn debunked it. Right? I believe that's the actor that she said. I hear it's Logan Lerman, and then later on, when people asked him to talk about it, he's like, "For the record, I don't know who that person is." And so, what is the likelihood that she is lying or heard a bad rumor from her supposed connects, as opposed to James Gunn lying in public? It is way more likely that she has the wrong information than he's blatantly lying to us. Because if it ends up being him, if it ends up being Logan Lerman, people will hate James Gunn worse than they already do. So I don't think he would risk it like that. I really don't think so. So we were talking earlier about my man Young Ripper. Young Ripper had some critic. I love Logan Lerman. He would have been a great Peter Parker. Okay. I almost got today on Twitter on this stream. I was looking on Twitter, and there was some fake account pretending to be discussing film, and they posted a thing that Michael Cera was cast as Clark Kent. I almost lost my mind right there. Man, just of course James Gunn would lie. I would lie also. Andrew Garfield lied about being in Spider-Man 3. People lie all the time. I think this is a special case, though. You know why? Because the Andrew Garfield, it's a playful lie. It's an absolute playful lie. This is not a playful lie, and also, like, I think that James Gunn, and he knows this, is scrutinized so much more. Everyone's watching every little thing about him that he can't really mess up in this regard. Like, yo, I will eat my hat if it's Logan Lerman. I don't really wear hats, but I'll go buy a hat. I'll go buy a cheap hat and eat it. If Grace Randolph is right on this one. Once again, I know some people have more faith in her than but so here's what I'm saying. Maybe the Pedro Pascal rumor might be true, but I don't think James Gunn lied on this one. Thoughts on the Scott Pilgrim show? Actually, I had heard this is happening. Is it animated? Young Ripper is effing awesome. I love that guy. He got the true takes. Yes. If you want the truest, most genuine takes ever, as a matter of fact, I'm thinking of putting one of his videos on. But I no, I don't want it to be Logan Lerman. So I hope it's 100% wrong. I hope it's 100% wrong too. But I really don't think. I don't know. Like you like I said, it all depends on your faith, and I have very little faith in the things Grace says. I think she says all sorts of stuff. She tries to take credit for things she didn't say all the time. She's just and I've never seen someone debunk her, a source, so adamantly. He was quick to be like, for starters, I don't know who this actor is. And no, it's not true. He's like, we're not even at the casting phases, which it makes sense he's not at the casting phases. I just don't really think we're getting an announcement. Yeah, so it's animated. I will give it a shot. I absolutely will give it a shot. Scott Pilgrim versus the World is like okay. Scott Pilgrim versus the World is in my top 10 films. It's in that list. It's like really one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. Never get tired of it. I can just watch it forever and ever and ever. So it's gonna be hard hearing different actors or seeing. Also, another thing I gotta say, after watching the movie, I was like, "This is so good. I got to pick up the comic." I picked up the comic and I hated the comic. So particularly the art. So I really hope that they don't model the characters after that artwork because I'm not gonna be able to deal with that. RM confirms that it's animated. Nigel says, "I don't even care. I just want more Maddie with his demon hipster chicks and the super vegans." I mean, all of it, man. All of it. Oh man. But you know what made that movie so great though? That it wasn't animated. It should have been animated, but the fact that they made the super vegan live action is just so amazing. That I love that scene. I'm hearing better things about it. It's animated and they got everyone from the movie to reprise their roles. Oh my god. Um well then it's even sounding even better. AJ the Rebel, welcome in, brother. Happy birthday, Mantis. Thank you. Whoa. Finally 21. Drink up, gentlemen. Drink up. And ladies, for you ladies out there. So yeah, that's actually sounding incredibly promising, incredibly fun. Oh my god. I don't know if I ever told you guys, but I love Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Like, OD love her. She is like amazing in every level. She's playing a Twi'lek in Ahsoka. That one's just hard to deal. You getting slammed tonight? You know I am. You absolutely know I am. I don't know where or how or why, but I am tonight. Absolutely, friendo. Who would you cast as Superman besides Cavill? Cavill's clone. Just like Moff Gideon. I'd have a bunch of clones of him. And be like, no, Gunn, you can't stop this. You and Walter Hamada can't stop the Cavill. I'm going to say this. It's going to sound a little nutty. It is a shame that the dude from the show is doing the show, because they'll never make a movie of the show. They really Hollywood stopped doing that. I love the actor who plays him on Superman and Lois. I love that dude. I think he's such a good Superman. Twi'leks are the hottest species in the Star Wars universe. They are, and that makes sense that why. But now she's going to be in green makeup all the time. It's going to be like so weird. Yes, according to the Star Wars RPG, they get like +2 to charisma. They are the sexiest species in the known galaxy. She's wonderful, perfect Twi'lek. She's perfect on so many levels, and so not only did she play Ramona, right? Ramona from Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I love that he's like, "Here's my song, Ramona." He's like, "Can't wait to hear it when it's finished." Finished? But she played Gwen Grayson in Sky High, and like it was perfect because she played the it girl in high school, superpowered high school in Sky High. Gwen Grayson, the girl everyone wants, and she was perfect casting on that one. I mean, WrestleMania, Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant slammed. Actually, right now I don't. After the movie, me and my sister are going to go see Evil Dead Rise, but after the movie, I don't really have like set plans. I'm just going to see what I can kind of get into. So I don't know. I would love to get that slam, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see where the 4 wins take me. Right? Yeah. So real quick. I've been trying to put on this video for a little bit. Young Repa, his live yesterday was so hysterical. Okay. And so we're gonna share the screen because I want to talk about his flip out. It's not a flip out. He kept it extremely real, but possibly so real it's offensive, right? Okay.
The person is leading with the fact that they are autistic. So what do you have against autistic people? Because maybe it's your own sensibilities. I don't know. To where you would think, so hold on, let me know, to where you would think, I guess that would end up being some, like you mentioned, fan base or something. And I don't know where do you think someone is going?
What am I looking at? Sorry. Yeah, I remember the whole artistic fight. Oh, did he not? Oh, I thought the video I was watching was a live of his, but 13 hours ago. And so, yeah, I think it's funny that he believes that, like,
the confused people that would come to work and say, "What, man? What the hell? He just started a comic book. Maybe they hadn't been in on all of this stuff. They're not into the cultural stuff. They just saw me make a book. Maybe they were even interested in it. They're like, what the hell is this? Why are they so mad at this guy for just, I don't understand it.
Nigel says,
And to
Evil Dead
that,
Rise
I
was
say
fun.
that you
I
need to
immediately
understand what's
thought,
on the
I can't
line for
wait.
them, right? A lot of the accusations that they're going to throw at you.
Yo, Sky High is underrated, to Chelin. I would actually argue it's one of the most underrated movies ever. I would argue it's quite possibly one of the greatest superhero movies ever. I said that. Yeah, I absolutely said that. I know some people are like, what is Mantis talking about? It's family friendly, it's carefree. It's a concept, it's about a superhero school, high school, right? So it mixes the high school drama and all these things, but it really encapsulates superheroism, particularly like the teen hero thing. I love it. I think it's amazing. It cannot be overstated how great it is. Too bad I don't live closer. I'd come out and buy some drinks with you and get shiz. Yes, that would be amazing, man. Absolutely. Let's do it. Or maybe I should come to you, man. Maybe I should drive out to well, we're not gonna dox Matt Cat today. Tyler, I can never pronounce his name. Hochul? Is it Hochul? Is awesome. I love him as Superman. He could shave his face though. I don't want my Superman with the 5 o'clock shadow. Okay. I think that it's like Henry Cavill and his hairy chest. There are certain things that make like actors, and they do this with women too, sexy, and they want to like exploit it. And I'm sure that was a casting / producer decision, that when they were casting him, they saw him one time with the 5 o'clock shadow, and they're like, that's kind of sexy. Maybe we should keep him with the 5 o'clock shadow. A different take on Superman. A Superman the 5 o'clock shadow, and that's exactly what they did with Henry Cavill with his chest hairs. There was actually literally a discussion amongst producers about how much of his cherry chest they should show, and they're like, oh well, this is a different take on Superman, the little sex appeal there. As in, I assume Superman, I don't think Superman is usually depicted as a hairy chest guy.
She was slanderous and all that. It's often is, but it's funny. The Nefarious movie came out, and I got tagged in some post with some
about that movie,
person that was mad at kind of some cross promotion that people are doing. And I'm like, the mainstream does cross promotion all the time. You have Shield Media, which that's literally all it is they do. But God forbid, because Steve Dace is crosses and in these realms,
yes, when
your allies do it. It ultimately boils down to that you're seeing a level of success that's at least competitive or comparable, and they can't control it.
Damn it! I wish
That's why they're mad.
Understand?
It's not a complicated thing. That's why they're mad. So they have to do these gay ops. They have to do start the hate campaigns, and they have to knock something based on something that it's not. They have to build a boogeyman that they need you to be. All the only people that are supporting the Rippaverse are the white supremacists, because the thing that white supremacists in their little Klansman hats, the thing that they go around and want to spend money on and talk about is a book on the main cover. The only people on the front of it are black. That's what white supremacists are known for doing. They love doing stuff like that. They sit around, burn stakes and crosses, and they in these round tables with their hoods. And the one thing that they love to do is go support the work of things that have a bunch of black people on the front of it.
So why am I laughing my ass off right now? So this is what I'm talking about. When he gets heated, he's the most entertaining man in the world. And hello, Ken. I had to take a little hiatus. One was because of illness, which I just recovered from, but also just in general, I was kind of burnt out, and I was like running out of ideas for shows, and I just needed a breather. So I stopped streaming for a couple weeks there. But I am back. Good to see you. But Rippa is basically talking about critics on Twitter who call him a white supremacist. This is what I was getting into at the beginning of the stream, that they have the nerve to call this man, like I said, the blackest guy we know, a white supremacist. And so if you're wondering, like, why is he flipping out? I would be enraged too if someone called me a white supremacist. How fucking dare they? But
that's what they love to. We're dealing with mental retardation, but it's not just that.
He
They have
says that.
boogeyman and dragons that they need to slay. So even they have a preconceived argument. And if you can't fit in that box, they're going to put you in it regardless. So they can say something like that, even though it makes no fucking sense whatsoever. It is illogical. It is stupid. That's not. And I'm from the South, man. That's not. That's not what Klansmen are doing. Let's just say that. But they need y'all to be white supremacists. They need y'all to be misogynistic. They need y'all to be knocking something. Even though these are the two characters that you guys came out in full force and supported, right? Somehow, because y'all supported this, somehow it still means you're racist and you're misogynistic. Does it make sense? No, they know it doesn't make sense. They're retarded. It just ultimately boils down to the fact that was their preconceived box. They needed a dragon to say. You got all these idiots to do these videos, especially on myself. They think they're little freedom fighters, right? They're taking it to the people that are bad. They're bad for the fandom. Bunch of fucking retards. But it just boils down to you see a level of success. They consider you their political enemy. They don't care about hypocrisy. They don't care about contradicting themselves. Because like I said, let's assume that someone saw success. And let's say the only people that they appealed to was libertarians. What's the problem? Let's assume that that's true. Let's assume that someone sold 100,000 books or something, and the only people that supported it were libertarians. What's the problem? You certainly wouldn't have an issue if a bunch of gay or lesbian folk went and supported something full force. Never is it going to cross your mind. Or let's say if they were conservative. Let's say if they were whatever they were. You would not have a problem in the event that it's you guys just going out full force and supporting something. But God forbid your social political enemies go do something that you can't control that makes you mad. You get
and so I cannot stress enough how on his side I am, how disgusted I am that this is where the argument has come. So that because he's a conservative and he has these political, he's very conservative ideas, that somehow whites, or a group of whites in this case, felt that it was all right to call him a white supremacist. And his comic book, which is starring a black man, I Sam as a black man, as white supremacist. It is utterly insane. The audacity and the place of privilege these animals have to think that they can say that about somebody. It is over the top. It is absolutely over the top. And this is what I'm talking about in the beginning, calling everyone a ist or a phobe. If you have any opinion on anything, they're like, you must be a racist. You must be. They have literally depreciated the value of the word racist. This was the old. If you want to talk about acts of white supremacy, that's what white liberals have done. They have depreciated the value of racist. So now when you call someone out about being racist, it has no value because they throw it around and they destroyed it. It has no value anymore. But, the audacity of these people, I'm enraged, actually. And I love his righteous fury. Obviously, I'm going to apologize for some of his language, but, I don't produce his show. So it's not language I would use. What do you think of Patti LuPone revealing her character for Agatha? I don't know who her character is. I would love to know. But it's not cool them revealing any of this stuff. And how do you feel about her foul comments about comparing Christianity to the Taliban? I didn't know about that on The View. Of course, it's on The View. Of course, if you want toilet commentary and the stupidest takes in the world, go to The View. And once again, I'm probably going to be an ist. I'm a sexist, right? Because they're like, you don't like 4 women sitting around talking about stuff. No, I don't like 4 crazy women sitting around talking about stuff. That is what is offensive. And so you got Whoopi Goldberg, you got these other people with extreme, crazy ideas, spitting them out on things like F that. And then the guests feel empowered to come and say things. So Patti LuPone is comparing Christianity to the Taliban, an organization that whips or murders women in the town square for doing things like reading books. Somehow Christianity is compared to this. And I'm just gonna say it loud and proud right now. And so I am a Christian, I am an American, I am half white, I am half black, and I'm a plethora of identities and concepts. But in terms of those four things, and anything that is insulting or anti those things, I am against. I will never back someone who says F America. I will never back somebody who says blatant lies about Christianity. Basically, Christianity brought the concept of humanism to the world. And I will debate anybody on this, where they're like, well, what about all the religions? Blah, 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 blah. What about Satanism? What about Buddhism? Whatever, bro. I'm willing to debate you right now. But certainly when people come at you like that, saying such foul lies, she's an old, crazy woman, Patti LuPone. She's been in the game a little too long. And once again, we were talking about places of privilege. When you become a rich, narcissistic actor, you say and do crazy things. Now, this is funny. If I was her producer, I'd find a way to work with her. If she was making me money, yes, I would find a way to work with her. But since I'm not, I can tell Patti LuPone to go fuck herself. Nigel Trotter says Sam Elliott with his beard, Christina Hendricks with her jugs, Brooke Shields, Lily Collins, and Jennifer Connelly with her eyebrows. Cavill with his chest. People get their physical signatures. Absolutely. When you're becoming an A-lister, you're going to have that, and they're going to play it up whether your fictional character has it or not. And so with the Tyler Hochul, once again, I apologies if I mispronounced that, he's gonna, maybe his thing is, I'm 5 o'clock shadow, dude. I'm handsome with the 5 o'clock shadow. They're like, don't make him shave. And I understand why a producer would make that decision. Rogue Radio is like, preach, Mantis. Hell yeah. And there's too many haters out there. There's far too many haters.
Pissed. Because that's what it was all about. I told y'all, man, we could sit here and talk about how things suck till we're blue in the face. What they are truly scared of is that energy manifesting itself to alternatives that they can do absolutely nothing to stop. That's what they are truly scared of. Not to say that they don't like the people that say, hey, I'm not interested in that or not. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the true fear, the thing that aggravates the living hell out of them, is their political and social political enemies seeing a level of success that they cannot control, right? The cancellation doesn't work. Going to these people's funding because they are funding themselves doesn't work. It's not impactful. Calling them racist doesn't work. So all of the things that have got them basically pimped, it allowed them to pimp the entire mainstream, doesn't work on us. And that's why they're mad. It's a simple thing. It's not that complicated. So when you look at something as a rational person and you say, yeah, he has his own opinions, I don't think it warrants the things that people are saying about him or saying about them and why are they so angry. It's because it is illogical. It was illogical from the jump. It never was supposed to make sense. You're just dealing with an irrational bunch of people. So you can't approach them the same way that you would approach someone that is reasonable, because they're not reasonable.
Yeah, very good. You cannot barter or negotiate or even have a conversation with someone who isn't reasonable. And I would argue that the first line of being unreasonable is not allowing the other side to speak. And I don't care what it is. I don't care what soapbox you're standing on, where you're like, well, you know what? I shut them down because they talk about vaccines. I shut them down because they talk about welfare. I shut them down because they talk about race. F that. I want to smash it all to pieces, because using self-righteousness as an excuse to destroy freedom of speech is despicable. It is absolutely despicable. F that. Matt says, yeah. What does he say? those cackle hens at the View have the dumbest takes. Whoopi pretty much said Jews aren't people at one point. Those women are trash and are mediocre talent at best. That's what it is. They're all washed up. Whoopi Goldberg was at her stride in the 80s. And so they bring these old, and also I don't understand why the View is notoriously old. Why does it skew old? Why don't you get 5? I don't know how many number. Is it 4 or 5? I guess it's 5. Why don't you get 5 young women to have their takes? Why does it have to be like, why are they all like, basically the idea is like, we're all hyper liberal, hyper senile, hyper old women, and we'll have one conservative on there. Occasionally they have like a conservative woman who's always the butt of the jokes, always being attacked. But why don't they just have young people in it? I feel like that would ease my pain about the View more, that if they actually had young women talking, but they're like, yo, septuagenarians all the way. We're gonna just load the card up with a bunch of old women, cackling about whatever. Gotta go. Love you. Happy weekend. Yeah, my true birthday gift was seeing you again, Miss Hippie, in my chat. I love you. I adore you. I hope you have a beautiful weekend. Thank you so much. Nigel Trotter says, I'm a Christian too, and I know folks love to down Christianity because it calls out their deeds. Anything that calls out their deeds, they love to down and discredit it at a powerless to a powerless state. Yo, it's crazy. But another thing is they're also punching at a group of people who are not going to really strike back, and that's also cowardly and pathetic. The truth is, if we mean Christianity the way we mean, like, generally our society is Christian, whether you like it or not. It was founded, created by Christians. So, everyone has that Christian influence, whether you go to church or not. Christian culture is weighing down on you. Okay, I dig that. But if you really mean a real Christian, someone who goes to church, who's trying to live the gospel, who admits that they are a sinner, that we are all sinners, those people are not going to lash out at Patty LuPone. I might be the only one. I was asked a direct question about it, but they're not going to be like, let's go on Twitter and bash her back. They're not going to do that because they turn the other cheek. So how cowardly is it of a rich, wealthy, privileged white woman attacking these groups of like, I'm going to say it, simple people, right? And once again, I'm part of the simple people. I'm part of the Christians. Now, once again, in terms of like righteous fury and anger, I unfortunately am like a warrior for Christ. I'm a guy who doesn't take shit. Like, and so you'll see me have outbursts. I try to be as young ripper as possible. I know it's not truly Christian, and I need to work on that. But once again, we're all sinners, and we'll all have something to work on. But in a room full of Christians, when they're getting insulted, they're going to put their heads down in shame. But I'm going to be the one guy who speaks up. RM says, friendly reminder that if you want to get to a certain place by 2:30, you'll have to leave by 12:30. Okay, that's right. I'm actually wrapping up in 8 minutes. So yes, I'm gonna 8 minutes, wrap it up, throw on pants, and just be on that train. Thank you, RM. SMH says, because that is the target audience for that time slot and advertising. I suppose, yeah. I guess young women are all working or whatever. That's all. Thank you, SMH. Thoughts on Adam Driver as Reed Richards? I like Adam Driver, but he's not good looking enough to be Reed Richards. So here's the thing: a lot of women love his appearance. They think he's the bee's knees. They think he's super hot. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you a little funny thing. My mother, I was like away for a couple of weeks. I think I was like visiting Virginia. I was away for a couple of weeks when Force Awakens came out, and so I came home. I'm like, Mommy, what you been up to? What you been doing? And she's like, oh, I went to see that Star Wars movie. And I was like, you saw a Star Wars movie? And I said, what did you think of it? And she says, I don't know what was going on, but I will say that young man in the black costume with the helmet is very attractive. I was like, okay, thank you for that. I think a lot of women think that he's hot. I wouldn't think he was hot either. Even when he was in Girls, I thought that he was purposely weird looking because he was dating Hannah, who is an ugly beast, right? And so I thought they were purposely casting someone who isn't hot, but no, they thought they were casting someone hot. that that goes against whatever. Really, when it comes down to it, Adam Driver. The reason why I don't think he make a good Reed Richards is I also think of Adam Driver as an alpha. I think of him as a tough guy. Yeah, in Last Jedi, when he takes his shirt off, I didn't even realize he's a wide boy. He's got muscles. He's jacked. I'm like, I cannot imagine him being Reed Richards. I think of him as the type of person that someone crosses him, he's gonna knock him out, right? That is not Reed Richards. Reed Richards is a guy who probably grew up being scared to fight. Never worked out a day of his life, right? SMH has worldview. Sometime you get to cut off an ear, Mantis. Yes, Nigel, absolute. Well said. Well said. Patty LaPone is Italian American from LI, raised Catholic. Okay, so she still is a wealthy white woman of privilege. So she has been a mainstay in both Broadway and just like regular movies. Like, she's appeared in so many movies for ages now. She has been sitting on a throne made of money for a long time. And so she is punching down on Christians. Here's what I'm saying. When you have somebody from money from a city, and she might be from Long Island, she probably, has an apartment on the Upper West Side. I would bet money on that. So she's been sitting on that wealth and power right now. So yeah, she is punching down. The people she's attacking are like Midwestern Christians and stuff like that. Because that's what she meant when she made that comment about the Taliban. She's talking about Christian areas that are closed-minded to other ideas, right? And so she ain't talking about the streets of New York. She's not talking about the Catholic kids of New York. She's talking about the Methodist kids of Toledo or something, You're the bee's knees, says SMH. That is the comment of the day, starring that. Look, we got Sea Witch in the house. Hello, Sea Witch. He is so weird looking, says Sea Witch. I love it. I didn't see in the comments or in the chat. Love to have you here. I am closing down in just 4 minutes. I could only go an hour and a half. I've got a lot of crazy plans for my birthday. But thank you for showing up. Not just Sea Witch, all of you. I love you all. Matt says, wait, what? He's got the big ass nose and those Dumbo ears. I wouldn't smash him. So I wouldn't smash him for many reasons, mainly because I'm straight. But I'm saying a lot of women think he's hot, and there are certain guys who people think are hot that I don't get. Like, for instance, if you look at Henry Cavill, or you look at who's the dude who played the android in Prometheus? Magneto. His name escapes me for some reason right now. But if you look at him, you understand why he's hot. You understand why they're classically hot. Driver, I don't know what's going on there. Doesn't make any sense to me. AJ says, hashtag not my Mr. Fantastic. Here's the thing. I'm not, I don't think he is. Yeah, I don't think he is my Mr. Fantastic. However, I'm dying for a Fantastic Four movie. At this point, from Marvel, I have such low expectations of what they do. I will take what they give us. He's nerdy hot. But yes, actually, another thing that I love about Adam Driver, and I'm sorry if it sounds like I was rough on him, I actually do like him. I like him as Kylo Ren. I liked him in Girls as Adam. He basically playing himself. But also when you hear his story, it is so fascinating and so I kind of look up to it. Also, I don't know if you've seen it. He was on SNL this one year, probably like a year or two ago. His monologue was hysterical. I wonder if we have time for this. Maybe I'll play it here so you guys don't have to look it up. Adam Driver, because it's only like 5 minutes, right? Here we go. I believe that this is it. Let's do it like this. Lambo. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Driver.
He's an edgelord. Fassbender. There we go. Fassbender. Occasionally, so that we don't get a strike. But hysterical, right? Already. All right. Okay, getting back to it. I am about to end this stream, brother. So good to see you. It is my birthday. So good to see you. We missed you in Men Supporting Men yesterday. but yeah, yeah, boo, right? Boo that, boo that. I'm sorry. I tried to hit everyone. I did last night, and then I did this morning. I'm trying to hit all the time frames so I can see everyone, hear everyone. But don't worry, guys. You can still hit me up. I think you guys know my Cash App, the Fat Mantis, right? At the Fat Mantis, if you want to send me love, or if you're poor or don't feel like spending money, just send me love on my socials. My socials are in the thing. Feel free to send me a dick pic or so. Actually, don't. I did not accidentally solicit that. That was a joke. That was a total joke. Oh, look, he sent me bits. That's awesome. Thank you, brother. I'm just gonna cut it here. I don't know how many of you are actually watching it, but this is the Fat Mantis for Rogue Planet's birthday special. Taking off, gonna go watch my movie. Well, actually, I'm gonna eat some lobster and then watch my movie. But yo, I appreciate you all so much. Thank you so much for choosing Rogue Planet to spend your Saturday mornings with. Remember, normally Rogue Planet premieres every new episode on Wednesdays at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to like this video, subscribe to this channel, keep tuning in to Voice of the Fat Mantis for Rogue Planet and other streams, other content, and all the nerd news that's fit to print. Until next time, ciao for now. Bye.